performance,
and
and all of them
how
did
do you
that.
put in a performance when you start your game 30 minutes in? If that penalty had gone in,
They would have
if they
gotten a
had
goal
dropped
as
their
well.
head, they may have gotten a goal.
They
They may
would.
have gotten a
They
point.
would, because I saw the
They
Southampton defense. They
may.
would have
It's
gotten a
still a
goal.
may. If they had considered that goal, it would be murder she wrote all over again.
You know, I was talking about this and I said, look at it now. For the Southampton side, I have two players to blame. What's it
Sure.
called? The first person was
Bednarek.
not Bednarek. Bednarek was on the top of his game that on
I
Saturday.
disagree. If you look at the second goal, it's his
Mubawa.
fault.
Mubawa, not Bednarek. Mubawa couldn't step out and cover the spaces. He was always keeping players onside. Mubawa, not Bednarek. Mubawa was the player that was always keeping players onside. He kept Delete onside. He kept Delete onside for the second goal, the Rashford goal, because of his positional unawareness. And I think the only thing Man United got right was the defensive, the position awareness of where they are and the players running behind them. I think Delete kind of got that right. Dalot kind of got that right. Mazraoui was top of the game, and Lisa was. I think he had a back pain in that game. He had a pain in the back, but he was top of his game also.
Okay, let's give the Hag his flowers. Somehow, after back-to-back defeats, he got a win away from Southampton. Okay, let's move on to the next game. The defending champions, Manchester City, winning 2-1, and Haaland again scored 2 goals again. John, Haaland is unstoppable.
Of course, everybody knows it by now. Haaland is a beast. He's unstoppable. He's on the prowl. He's going to end the season with over 30 goals. Go and book it. I called it here. Same way I called it here on Saturday morning when I said Liverpool were going to concede their first goal in this Premier League.
No, but Manchester City, do you think that Manchester City, everybody is trying to wrestle this league again? Yeah, I keep saying it on this show. Manchester City is a problem for everybody. They considered first minute of the game, they considered that goal, and everybody thought, okay, this is going to be a bad day at the office. But Haaland came up to score that 2 goals.
Well, see, there's something Pep Guardiola said about Frank Thomas. Now he said, in another light, in another time, he would be a very good coach, a great coach. I don't see too many good coaches around, but I say when I see somebody destined for greatness, I say this person is. And the age difference between these two players are just maybe 5 or 6 years. And Pep Guardiola saying this about Frank Thomas tells you the kind of manager he's been. He's been in the Premier League since he came back. I think back-to-back promotions and back to the Premier League after 5 years. He's been in the Premier League for like 3 years now, and he's always finished above or around the middle of the table, 10th to 15th. It doesn't go below 15. It doesn't go below 14 either. It's always between 9 to 13th in the table, who tells you the pedigree of coach he is and the kind of players he likes to play like, the style of play he likes to play like. He's a good coach, no doubt, but against Man City, he came up a bit short.
No doubt.
Because they have Haaland. Come on.
It's not just because they have Haaland. If you look at, I like to put things in perspective now. Let's just put things in perspective. What is the average value of the Man City side against the opposition side? That tells you that some people are light years ahead. And then for Thomas Frank, is a manager I'd love to see coming into the top 6 clubs in the Premier League and hopefully trying himself, even though some people do not think he has all the razzle dazzle that some of these other guys. Like, it's easier to give a Graham Potter a call up to come and take up a Chelsea job rather than a Thomas Frank. And sometimes most of these unattractive managers are actually the workhorses.
Just like what this guy is doing for Brighton now.
Yes,
sir. And you see that these coaches are young, they have something to offer, but the thing is, other clubs, or perhaps I say, like John said it, the big names are not looking in that direction.
Sometimes what this young coach is opportunity you need. Sometimes you have one shot. You go to a big club, if you flop, nobody is going to get you again. That's the problem of these young coaches moving to a bigger club. So let's see what happens with Brentford. Brentford, they tried in that game after scoring that goal. Haaland scored 2 goals and they won that game 2-1. Let's talk about Liverpool. And Slot lost his first game as a Liverpool coach. That game everybody thought that Liverpool will win, because if you look at the past 3 games, they won 3 and they have not conceded a goal. But as Anfield this time, it was a shocker for everybody. Forest scored that second half goal to win that game, John.
I called it here live on Saturday, and I'm going to dig this one in a bit. I feel with Liverpool in that game, what got them out of it was the over compactness, over conservativeness of the team that Slot is playing with. No disrespect to the players or
No, na
to the
good man.
manager.
Leave all this English you want
Yes, yes, because
Nuno
at
na
the end
good
of the
man.
day, no disrespect to Nuno or Slot. I'm just saying that if you saw Liverpool play the way they played at Anfield, they were too compact, too reserved. They didn't make chances pay, and then Nuno outwitted Slot. Simple as it
Did
is.
you know? See, there's no how you say that mean that Nunu or perhaps Slot did not get, because most of the players kind of came forward. Most of them kind of came forward. There was a time like the same thing I told you about Dominic Zoboslai. It's a one-touch shot, man. Why must you cut back? Why must you try to cut back and make it look fancy? Take the shot with your first touch. He takes the first touch. He beats the first defender. Take the shot. He wants to beat the next defender. It was like, are you actually right now? Are you actually going to do that right now?
I recall we said that about Sterling too yesterday, right?
In between two defenders, take the shot, and you're trying to beat one, beat two. It was a problem for me to see it, but because I saw Gravenberch be the man of the match in that dominating the midfield. I saw the likes of McAllister being everywhere, but there was something Nuno did in that game. Normally he starts Elenga and Hudson-Odoi, and the front line is okay like that. But look at what he did against Liverpool. He kind of conserved, kept all his fast players on the bench. This is one thing I was talking about when I said something about Arsenal game yesterday, that why don't you start the night of McTominay on the bench? Then when the Tottenham defense is tired, you bring in fast players so they can outwit them with pace. And that was what Nuno did on Saturday against Anslot. He brought in the faster players, Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, at the very end of the minute. And I have to shout out to Yates there. He said his best Premier League captain is Roy Keane, and he actually acted like Roy Keane, a leader, winning all the balls in midfield, trying to show and defense our Liverpool midfield that as a one-man person, I could handle the three of you, and he did his job well. Yates is a good defender for that, a good midfielder for that.
So wake-up call for Slot?
It's a wake-up call for you. Don't have to start all your games conservatively. Some coaches are also looking at you that, okay, fine, in the 60th minute, we'll bring out our fast legs and we'll outrun you. Yeah, that was what actually worked yesterday.
Sure, and
Elanga and Hudson-Odoi finished off the game,
and this also calls into focus now. It's not a problem or a trouble area for Slot, but players burning out at the 60th minute, being on their last win or something, or their last leg.
See, when everybody was hyping Trent, this was exactly what people were saying when they said Trent is not that person that would give you results as a defender.
I disagree.
As a defender, he's not that person that will bring you tackles or run back to cover those spaces for you. Trent, if you're on the ball and you're going forward, Trent is that person that you will look out for. But when you're losing the ball and you need to defend, it's not Trent. I know he's improved his defensive, his defensive numbers recently, but it's not enough.
I disagree. When you have a player like Trent, there is a trade-off with playing him in that position, and the trade-off is that he may not track back as fast as most fullbacks or wing backs in the Premier League, and there should be a contingency. If you look at the way teams play, they have clubs. Okay. Whenever Zinchenko moves forward, somebody drops back because he too doesn't know how to come back in fast. We saw it in that game a couple of times. They were using that. It wasn't Zinchenko there yesterday. It was Julian Timber. And Julian Timber has that issue too, coming back to cover up that space because they see that space there, and players are able to play a long ball. They may not be looking to play fancy football, pass it into that position. A long ball, and wherever you're on the pitch, as good as that, because there's space there. So teams need to be able to compensate for those things by having somebody drop into that pocket space, and then he can switch to center.
Look at the way you're saying it now. If you're going to play a high line, your defensive midfielder would come back and join the back three line. But it didn't work like that because Gravenberch was far ahead. And Dominic Zoboslai was far into the positions half. McAllister was far into the positions half. So these three players, one of them should have dropped in to join the defensive line of Van Dijk and Gomez. And one of them should complete. But it didn't work that way because everybody was far into the positions half, trying to create out something, trying to get a shot off. But I still say this, Trent is a good player. He's good on the ball. He's creative going forward as a defender. But when playing against teams that play counter-attacking football, you could see that let's compare him with the likes of Poro. Whenever this guy was trying to outwit him or outrun him, he's always going forward and coming back. Pedro Porro is a right back as well. We put him in that light, but he also makes forward runs and he passes the ball forward. He's also good on the ball, which means he rarely loses the ball when he's with it. So, and I think Trent is also that player, but it was difficult to keep up.
Okay, let's see what Slot will do after losing that game. He's going to play his next game, and let's see if he's going to be challenging that league. We'll continue what he was doing, but the first 3 games was fantastic for him. Now he's a wake up call for him to build up his team very well and challenge for the league. Okay, let's talk about Aston Villa versus Everton. Everton went to up suddenly in the second half. Everything changed.
Crumbled.
What Bournemouth did last week. At least Aston Villa had plenty of time. You scored your first goal around the 16th minute, second goal in the 27th minute,
yes.
thereabout. Then in the 36th minute, Oli Watkins was there to score a goal. Then in the second half, it was a total package for Aston Villa. Like, you look at Aston Villa's side, everybody was just running the ball. I couldn't keep up with where the ball was at some point. I felt like it was too many movements on and off the ball. You can't keep up to where the ball was going to. You can't even imagine in your head that, oh, this is the pass I'm seeing. Because you're sitting there, you're looking at the game and you're like, okay, fine, he will make this pass, because you're relaxed and you're seeing the game. But you're thinking he will make this pass, and he makes the exact opposite pass. And you're looking at, there was no possible movement in that, like,
in that area.
And every time they make that move, it was a checkmate. And 3 times they made that move, it got them 2 goals. And they created many chances. I have to say, Aston Villa is a team that I am looking at, and 2 comebacks in the weekend. They look them 2 comebacks in the weekend. Aston Villa and Newcastle, they look there like this, like, waiting that they build. Make us see. Make us just unveil them in then week 5. We'll see waiting that they try build. But it was a good game in total. Everton should learn to win the game and see off the game the way they started.
Okay, John, let's move on to Fulham versus West Ham. I don't want to ask Nonso that question because Nonso is a West Ham fan. But let's got that final, almost last kick of the game, that 5th winner, no equalizer from Ings. But generally, how do you see West Ham? Nonso has been complaining that they bought a whole lot of players.
Too many
players, and they are not performing well. But that game ended 1-1.
You know, when you say you bought a whole lot of players and you're complaining about the performance, it is to be expected. You know, you're moving away from an old era into a new one. And the man who is coming in to do that job is doing the job he requires. You know, let's come back to something, because there are a couple of fans out there that always have one cry, one plea they are playing for the club to do. And then when the club finally comes around and does it, they now come and start using that as, you know, a marker to cry or an excuse to get themselves out of where they are. West Ham haven't made a couple of credible signs in a long time. I'm telling you that this is a club that the person they have up front is one young man they call, what's his name now? And this man has been backing that guy relentlessly. He comes back, he this one.
Now, Bola him be. See,
they've made a step in the right direction. It will not pay off immediately.
The thing is, he still started that game. Look at
Let me ask you first. You are campaigning, like a politician on this show.
Yes.
Like they should give Ten Hag time.
Yes.
Now you are now angry that your own club bought a whole lot of players. You don't want to give him time to build.
Mind you, he was celebrating when Moyes was stepped out of the office.
I didn't on this show celebrate Moyes' exit from the job. I was angry that Moyes. Now I am not
campaigning like a Nigerian politician. Now that they should give the hand that you give the hand time. 2 years now. It is study for now. But you are complaining. You don't want to give
Why?
Look at it now. When you come into a job, you want to do a massive overhaul. We know it's going to take time. Gradually pick out those players that are not giving you numbers and put them up. Did you see this guy's performance against Liverpool? What Prowse? Tell me one midfielder in my team that did better than that. Tell me one. Aside Paqueta. Tell me one. None. You won't call any name that did better than what James Ward-Prowse did at Nottingham Forest. And he's off on loan. There's Cornet off on loan, yet you were looking for substitutes to bring in. Somerville is not. See, I said this, and I said this with big anger in my chest. I like the players they brought in for their clubs.
Thank you.
I like the players they brought in for their clubs. They did good last season, but these are not Western materials. It will take time to prove it. It will take time to prove me wrong. I
disagree. You can't say they are not Western material.
It will take time to prove me wrong. It will take time, but I'm not seeing that numbers. Some of you had the lowest review for the game last season.
Mind you, you said that you need to give these players 9 weeks. That's why this is just barely 4 weeks.
Yo, I said 9 weeks.
You said it.
Wait, why do you think I didn't complain of full crew coming in as a sub? Why did I not complain of Sola and the rest of them coming in as a sub? I did not complain of other players coming in from outside league because they were the people I was giving time. The people that have played in the Premier League is people I can't give time.
Why can't you give time?
Because
they are
the Premier League,
moved,
you've
they've
been
moved
in
from
the Premier League.
residing,
was the player
and they are just
of
at
the
a new
season
club.
in the Championship last
Yes.
season.
That's what I'm saying. Look at it now. In the Premier League, Somerville has played the Premier League for Leeds United before they dropped. Understand this. You've played in the Premier League.
Yes.
I can give 9 weeks to full crew, no problem. I can give 9 weeks to what's it called?
Guilherme,
no problem.
Brazil.
I can even give him 20 weeks, no problem. From Brazil, he's still young, he will grow. I can give this guy 9 weeks from Spain. The two midfielders from Spain, I can give them 9 weeks, no problem about that. But the players in the Premier League that played in the Premier League last season, the likes of Max Kilmans and the rest of them that have been in the Premier League, why would they come into this game and make this kind of errors?
Okay, well, my own is that you have to give your coach time to build.
Thank you.
Every player, sometimes when you come to a new team, it takes time for you to gel together. Even to the people have not been playing.
That's what I'm saying. I give him 9 weeks, but I'm just saying, you made too many.
Okay, let's see what West Ham will be doing. Okay, the last game of the day on Saturday was Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Sancho came in and he got that assist. He was introduced in the second half and he got that assist. For Nkunku scored that goal to win that game. Chelsea, they struggled somehow in that game. After the penalty, they got a penalty.
Sanchez said the penalty.
Sanchez said the penalty that
one
saved
of the
them. And Nkunku was introduced and Nkunku scored that goal also.
Nkunku was introduced and Nkunku scored that goal. That was the line I was waiting for you to say, because look at that was the game you would see and you would say, wow, this is a player that should be starting ahead of Jackson. You understand? He gets a chance. First chance, he missed it. Second chance, he buries it. Fantastic player. Jackson got about 2 or 5, 6 big chances or 7 big chances in the final third. And he couldn't bury one of those chances. He was created, as in 7 different people created chances for Jackson and he couldn't bury one. Only 2 players created chances for Nkunku and he buried one. Which one was one of them came from Sancho with the assist and the other guy.
How did you see Sancho's performance?
Man, Chelsea fans have been on my page since. I would like, I am not against him. I'm not, as in, like, I don't know why they treat me like a Man U fan, because I like to say things the way they are. Sancho for Man U wasn't working, but he's a good player. He went to Dortmund. He worked to some extent. Yet he came back to Man United.
Don't come and say to some extent.
Now,
He
the rave about Sancho is one thing we should understand is this guy sent him a clear warning. Maresca, if you look at this last 2 press conferences, he sent him a clear warning. You have to work hard and prove that you belong here. If not, we'll be chipping you back. And that was a clear message for him. Why didn't the media come and criticize that message to him? Which is the same thing the other coach, let's not call his name now before John will get angry, because let's say if John hear that man's name with the verse, this is the same thing the other coach sent to him. And everybody is saying that the coach didn't give him the right message, or perhaps did not give him time to adapt into his role. I look at Sancho and I'm like, this guy is a young boy with potential. He has that flair, he has that dribble skill, and he's good to go. But is the Chelsea fan base now going to be patient with him when the team where they do him starts, they do him?
That's another thing, because he's not going to be playing nice throughout the whole season.
Sure.
Okay, but
if that thing starts the drum, would they still be this patient, or would they still sing him these hypes? Because that's what my United fans did. Look at Ugarte now. I forgot to mention that his first cameo, I was online and it was Ugarte. They were singing him praises. Ugarte, and I think Ugarte, Ahmad, and Delete were on songs of praises for their clubs. And Sancho also was in the song of praise, and they were also using it to criticize my fans. If waiting they do them, start to they do them, una go continue to sing this song of praise, or una go keep quiet, start to they abuse them? Because will you people continue to attack them, or will you continue to support them? That's just what I want to ask now.
Okay, John, if you look at that game, Chelsea, they are building, and I think they are allowing Maresca to build. If you look at that game in the first half, apart from that penalty, they had more position, more shots on target. They were pressing to win that game. But fortunately for them, they got that goal in the second half. Sancho was introduced. They had a whole lot of forward. I think that it's working out for Chelsea.
I'm not jumping on that bandwagon just yet, because Chelsea are here to show me consistency, and till they show me that, let's just observe and mind our business for now.
Okay, on Sunday, North London derby, North London is red. Arsenal winning that game 1-0, John. We
Yeah.
all saw that game. That game was intense. Like it was. I won't say that we are fighting, but at some point they started struggling. They started almost fought in that game. But the referee had to tap everything that they got on red cards, yellow cards upon yellow cards in that game, John.
Yeah, it was a feisty encounter, as we all know. Somebody said something categorical going into that game. I think it was Fabregas that said it, that this North London derby is more important for Arsenal than it is for Spurs. And why that made a whole lot of sense to me is, if you put things in perspective, like I always say here, you put the Premier League in perspective, you put the fact that a couple of key players were not available, you put mentality of the team generally in these types of dicey situations, how the players react, how the team play, how they handle themselves. It shows you title credential or not. And for me, I want to say that I saw something there yesterday.
What did you see?
I saw something. I saw.
Tell us what you saw.
I saw a similitude or a figure of a champion that is still freckled and weighed down with the lack of a clinical number 9. That's what I saw.
Also, Arsenal, did they show character? You know, if you start Arsenal, I have to ask
This is the
question.
perennial question.
You know,
You just
they
say
show
yes and
character.
we move on.
The day when you ask me
You
this
just
after,
say yes,
you know,
man. Just say yes.
You know, after the final whistle, he asked me the same question. Did you see the show character? Bros, calm down with the character now.
No, now, boy, it's
But-
there for all to see. though.
But it was there for everybody to see. It's a North London derby. It's a derby match. You have to up your game. You have to play differently. And though they showed character, but they were not clinical enough. They didn't get most of the
Yes,
chances. There was a run they made, and I was telling you, no, Martinelli. But Martinelli, they receive pass. Everybody they see Martinelli, but Martinelli, when he don't enter opposition half, they see anybody. And there was a time you were shouting, take the shot or pass.
That was Sterling.
No, not Sterling. Martinelli did it in the first half.
Yes, in the
Did
first
it in the first. He did it 2 times, and it was like Godwin was like, "Boy, please just pass the ball, square it or fake it and pass." I was like, "See, even if he doesn't take the shot, you're already out of pace. Pace and fake it and pass the ball to Saka. Saka was in a very better position to take the shot, but he still took the shot and played it straight at where the keeper was standing twice. Then Sterling did the same thing. I'm like, everybody they see these players, but when they don't carry ball enter inside box, they see anything. Now only goalkeeper that they see and how to score, and that was one thing that Arsenal kind of lost. That was where Arsenal lost the game for me. But in set pieces, I think Tottenham Hotspur has still find it difficult on how to defend set piece, because last season they considered, I think, second or third team on the table to concede most set piece, and this season they've started in that numbers again. Most of the goals they've considered this season, or perhaps 60% of the goals they've considered this season, are from set pieces. They need to find a way to defend all these corner kicks and free kicks, because they have strong defenders, they have clinical defenders, and they did the same thing they did against Arsenal the last time, where one of the defenders sits deep and the other defender is going to play a number 9 role, which they tried it, but it didn't work out this game. I'm talking about Romero. I think he got his head on the ball 2 or 3 times there. It didn't work out this way. And I don't know, there's this joke my friend used to tell me. He said, a team that has too many sons can't go to win trophy. There's no adults. Everybody's a son.
Nice one.
Then
Nice one.
son, Johnson.
If you look at that game, John, second, if you can ask set of their defense, Saliba and Gabriel obviously got that goal. But Saliba and the defense was, they have a whole lot of injury and suspension. Rice was suspended for this game. I look at the injuries they have. If you look at their bench, I think it was Waneri, Sterling, and Jesus was the senior players. Every other player was and Kyo. Every other players was under 21s. But if you look at the way Arsenal set up, they play with 2 defensive midfielders. Do you think that Arsenal, they are in the right path to challenge City for this title?
If you look at the way they play with 2 defensive midfielders, it shows you that Arsenal knew that they were in, let me say, I wouldn't say compromised a bit, but this was a game where they had more to lose than a lot to win, because that shows you that they respected Spurs, and without that, they might have conceded early. We saw Spurs get more chances playing that shot direct at the goalkeeper. We saw Spurs get more chances bearing down the flanks. I think where it went missing for Spurs is when you get to the 18, the final touch before the shot, or the final pass before the shot. The final attempt on goal was missing, because we saw them get into position then pass back. No forward
move from Solanke.
Solanke was looking for a freebie 3 times in that match. He was looking for a penalty.
I felt like they had too many touches on the ball that they forgot to be creative. You know, when you have too much possession, you feel like you're relaxed and you forget to be creative. That was what happened to what's it called now, Bentancur and Madison. They forgot to be creative, and the creativity spark came in towards the later stages of the game when they already considered when they brought in Sarr to replace Bentancur.
Yeah,
and,
when they were fighting for their
and
lives.
Madison had kind of had that freedom to roam in the opposition's half. You understand? And it was kind of moving forward. But at first, it was Bentancur ahead of Madison. Madison was also always trying to drop deep to complete the back line, which is not what we see every time. Madison is the attacking player. He's the one with the attacking flair. He's the one with the creative mind. Why not play ahead of Bentancur? But we didn't see that happen in the first half of the game. We didn't see that happen in the first 60 minutes of the game until they considered the goal. And that was when Martin started driving in, and Son had to switch positions because he was tired of running around Ben White and had to switch to Timber, which they also still shut him down, and he couldn't get the passes into Solanke's path.
To cap it off, I just want to say that there was one final part of that question you asked me, and I just want to address that before we move on to another game. If you look at Man City has a lightning rod. No matter how every other player on that pitch flourishes, plays a good game, do all the things they do fantastically well, their lightning rod is Haaland. He's the guy everybody's looking up to get. He's the guy everybody's looking up to service. He's the guy who, in absorbing pressure from the defense, opens up other guys to get their own day in the sunlight. And that's what's missing at Arsenal, because we see Martinelli going in on goal, missing and failing woefully a couple of times. We see Saka also getting that, scoring it, and also missing. We see Sterling faking, dribble, shift. At the end of the day, play short, no pass, no. Baba, how far now? Why won't carry this your bad market come here? And then I'm just saying that if Arsenal had a lightning rod in a Lois Openda, in a Benjamin Zesco, in a couple of other, even if it's in a Victor Boniface got two goals and an assist this weekend. If they had that lightning rod, they would be more productive goal-wise and closing out games. Thank you. And that's going to be the crucible upon which they lose the title this season.
Okay, let's see what Arsenal is going to be. Arteta got it right in this London derby. They winning that game 1-0. So now they are second on the table. After winning 3 games and drawing 1. Okay, remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports, and for you to call in and contribute to this program, to all these games we are talking about, the number to call is 0706 048 5853. We have a whole lot of comments here on our YouTube channel. Before I read, let me read out some of those comments. David, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Give our location, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's Bishop. Direct translation.
Welcome. You sound lighter.
What is your contribution, Bishop?
The highlight of the weekend match was Nottingham Forest and Arsenal for me.
Okay.
Massive win for the two.
Yeah.
Massive win. You know, John confidently said that Liverpool is going to concede, but not that they're going to lose though.
Yeah.
He said that Liverpool will win, but they will concede. He was very confident.
Yeah.
Like, Liverpool is going to concede. But he didn't see the lose coming, honestly. Even John didn't see it coming, I'm sure.
Nobody saw it coming.
Yeah, but he was like sure that they're going to concede. It's a very massive win for them, honestly. I don't know what happened at Anfield and Slot. I agree with John. He said that it's too early. Yeah, he inherited a formidable team, no doubt. I said it here. Liverpool team is a complete squad. He inherited a good team, but how he now, include himself, is going to manage the team is what I don't know. You know why I'm still spectacular is because of Postecoglou. If we all go back when he took Arsenal, it was he won like 5 straight. At a point he was topping the league, doing well.
Yeah.
From waiting for him, if you remember. But at a point he failed. Even till date, he hasn't gotten his seat. Mm-hmm. So I'm still watching the coach of Liverpool, whether he's going to understand the game more and watch what he does with the team. But he gets me a good team. As for Arsenal, I give them a draw. I didn't expect them to win without Rice, and they keep the Odegaard and Rice. I was like, okay, this is awesome. They are going away. They are going to at least struggle to get a point. But they won the game. That is the team built. It's like Man City played like 3 games. I even forget that Rodri is not playing.
Sure.
Completely, I forgot that Rodri is not playing. You know, I remember like, Rodri is not in this team. But look, now they are playing effortlessly, flawless, and winning their game. this team are built. Understand? Arsenal winning that game yesterday is the kudos to them, 100% kudos to them. I did not expect it coming.
All right.
Considering that win a team like Tottenham,
All
it's
right.
a kudos to them. And Arteta is heading to somewhere,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
has the team.
Yeah.
Thank
As
you.
for Haaland, man is having fun.
I'm
All
telling
of
you.
fun, enjoying himself.
He's
Come
farming.
on, look
He's
at the
farming.
goals.
He's farming goals in Premier League.
Look at the goals, man.
Alan
They can't
Shearer
talk
should
of
be
this
worried,
Shearer
though.
better than Haaland, man. Man is having fun. He's not even stressing himself scoring goals. Come on, Haaland is a beast. Thanks to you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Bishop.
you.
Thank you, Bishop. Okay, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sport. So I'm going to read some of the comments here. We have a whole lot of comments happening on our YouTube. Is buzzing with comments and comments. So let me read some of them. Ude Chidoze is saying, congrats to Manchester United players for the win. Okay, congrats to Manchester United. They won that first game. Ude is also saying, Elanga, do revenge for. Okay, did a revenge for Man U. Okay, he scored that goal.
I think on his Instagram post, he posted, I didn't walk alone.
I didn't hear.
And Bruno Fernandes had to reply him, good assist, and one with the assist.
Okay, Charles G. Lenzo is London derby was full of yellow cards. Saliba was so lucky not to get a red card. Charles is also saying Arsenal has few chances. We were just lucky to go home with 3 points, which is true. They were lucky. Ude Chidoze say London card derby. Okay, that game was just cards everywhere. So he's saying London card derby. Wealth, Arsenal played with fear. Matter is saying they played with fear, yet they won the London derby. Okitibi is saying happy. He probably happy for Arsenal. Wealth is saying na luck, bro. Okay, luck. Wealth is also saying, like John always say, is an individual brilliance.
Sure thing, man.
Okay, after Saliba and Gabriel did a fantastic job, one of them even scored a goal. Udechi Doze is saying, even Man U win was individual brilliance. And Atletus Obi, I predicted City 2-1 against Brentford on Saturday. Wolves and Tottenham were just robbing the ball. No good attempt on the opposite goalkeeper.
Sure.
Wealth is saying yes. And secondly, the Southampton players always kept them onside. And Atletus Obi is Haaland have poor pass accuracy, but most shot accuracy to goals. Fortune is saying Arsenal had a narrow escape. Oh, okay. Comments are buzzing. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen and gentlemen in the studio.
Good morning, name
Good morning,
and location,
my brother.
Good
please.
morning.
Yeah, my name is Sonia Vitalis, Igweches na Stafford Bridge,
AKA.
aka Zordon Sancho.
Sancho now, okay.
Wait, you change your name again.
You don't change
You don't change
AKA.
AKA.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, what's your contribution?
My contribution is that nobody should underrate any team, because if they take slots that Nottingham Forest will win them, you can't believe it.
Definitely.
Normally.
True that.
Yes, because I strongly believe that they just relax. Maybe it's my home. I will go to give them 3 or 4-0, but on luck run against them. So for Man City, I know they did first, but the fact is that they will still correct their own. Yes,
Definitely.
Chelsea have already corrected. Now Liverpool have corrected. Man City was surely corrected, and they should pray let Haaland not get injury. Because if Haaland get injury, my dear, with that formation when they play, you will play and tire. So the fact is that Chelsea another escape, because this club,
Bournemouth.
these are Bournemouth, my dear, they push us too hard.
Sure.
They push us too hard. Thank God to our keeper Sanchez
Yeah.
to make a beautiful save. Because if they say that they scored that goal, my dear, I don't think Chelsea could have win that match. Maybe it could have ended 1-1 or they win us. But Sanchez denied their penalty and saved it very well.
Okay.
Before Sancho, I don't know why this man rejected Sancho. This Ten Hag. Have you seen what Sancho is doing at Chelsea?
One game is one thing is one game is too quick to call, please.
See, I have to ask now the hype Sancho now. They wait to now.
Fantastic. See what he's doing in the field. He automatically enter. He change everything automatically.
Okay.
Okay.
I think he
Let's
want
see.
the game live. He want the game live now.
Yes.
He change everything automatically. Touches, passes, dribbling, movement. Now I say, now is this chance to now the man. Although we are going to buy him, not true about it. We are going to buy him.
Okay, thank you very much.
Last week Friday, why not like I be calling. You could have picked my call.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry, it was the network.
sorry.
I love una station well. When I give me load everything about concern football.
Thank
Even
you.
sometimes I will lie against my say I get headache. Make I come late.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Make I just listen to the sport before I come to work.
Okay, thank you very much.
So make una try to pick our call.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to La Liga.
Before you move to La Liga, there was something that happened in the Premier League. They had a record-breaking 65 cards.
Yeah, on the
Bookings.
weekend. Yeah.
65 bookings in the Premier League, 1 red card and 64 other yellow cards. And I asked myself, were they targeting the Guinness World Records to give them an award?
Everybody
A
is
couple of
fighting.
coaches got cards too.
Okay,
Even the Newcastle game.
Let's move on to the La Liga. La Liga on Saturday is Mallorca 1, Villarreal 2, Espanyol 3, Deportivo Alaves 2, Sevilla 1, Getafe 0, Real Sociedad 0, Real Madrid 2. Okay, let's talk about the Real Madrid game before we move over to the Sunday game. They win that game 2 goals to Mbappe scored the game, but it was a penalty, John.
Yeah, I love to see Mbappe on the score sheet because if he keeps doing it consistency, it keeps getting better for him. I love to see his partnership with what's his name now, Vinny and
Vinny.
the
It
other
was 2
guys.
penalties. Vinny scored the first one. He gave him the second one to score.
One of the Real Madrid academy graduates, Keke Kubo, that plays for Real Sociedad, he said something after the game. He said, "I don't like to see Real Madrid as my former club. You get? I like to see them as look at it. I don't like to see Real Madrid as my former club because I didn't really play senior. He didn't play for the senior team. He played for the youth setup, but he didn't play for the senior team. He was always carried along, but never played a single match for the senior team.
Unfortunately for him, though.
Yeah, and he was moved out, and now he's one of the biggest right wing forward in Spanish La Liga. And he said, I don't see them as my former team. I see them as the biggest team in Spain, which means he still has an eye of maybe if there is hope, I'll probably come back to Real Madrid. And that's something to tell you that the mentality issue kind of gets into me. And it's a big side, but I think when you play against a big side, don't let your head down.
If you watch that game, Real Sociedad hit the bar 3 times.
Keke Kubo took on the defense and made them look like
Kubo,
babies.
I've never seen him before. Fantastic.
I think it was unfortunately for Real Sociedad not to even get anything from that game. Because after hitting the bar 3 times and they considered penalty, 2 penalties, and they lost that game. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, it's Manchester United calling.
Good morning. All right, what's your own contribution?
Glory, Man United.
You trouble the
Glory, Man United.
Now Southampton.
Don't leave Man U alone.
Just leave Man U alone.
Now Southampton.
Manchester United alone.
I'm happy.
Manchester United plays this against Southampton, and I told you it's an insult to Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United may have a problem, but it's not for Southampton. And I think it's a 0 point. You're talking about Manchester United. Do you know how much they spend in that cost?
Mm-hmm.
It's Manchester United.
At least you ate before you watched the game,
No,
right?
The difference is that penalty didn't go in. One. The second difference is that I'm happy is Southampton are singing this song for. So let's go ahead.
But Manchester United,
Huh?
did you eat before watching the game first?
No.
You did not eat.
But I hope that we are going to. That's why I told John that it's an insult.
Okay, so you.
To him to say that Manchester United will play.
But what if
they have 0 points?
Yeah, what
So how
if?
can you compare them with Manchester United? We'll be stopped. So what I'm saying is that we know that we are not doing well, but we're going to come back.
Okay, now
Forget
what?
about what John is saying.
I know.
Because John always criticizes Manchester United and Tanga, but I don't want about that. What I said, leave United alone. Forget about you can criticize the coach, but you leave Manchester United alone.
All
It's
right.
my beloved team.
Okay, thank you very much.
So what
Thank
I
you.
want to say is that I thank God we won 3-0, and the next game we're going to do more.
All right.
Amen.
So,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to Sunday games. In the La Liga, Celta Vigo 3, Rio Valladolid 1. that is the goal. Barcelona trashed. Barcelona is playing good football and Yamal is scoring goal. Girona, they trashed Girona 4-1 away. Las Palmas 2, Atletico Bilbao 3, Atletico Madrid 3, Valencia 0.
Alvarez on the score sheet.
Yeah, Alvarez on the score sheet. But let's move over to John. Let's talk about Girona versus Barcelona. Yamal again was the star man of that show. That boy is fantastic.
He was the star man, but the undercover detective in that team was Daniel Olmo.
You're not talking about Pedri?
Undercover Daniel.
Everybody there is balling. Everybody in that.
Daniel was balling. Like I was super happy to see him play. You see players like that go unnoticed in big teams, and I love the way Barcelona won the game. But clearly, everybody can see Hansi Flick is cooking. Let's see how the foot turns out, whether he go born or he go done.
Yamal scored 2 goals. Almost scored 1, and Pedri scored the last one. Also.
Well, good game for Arma because I think he scored 2 goals, got an assist, two goals and 1 assist, I think so. But it was a good game in general. You look at the pace they play with. I think this is 5 in a row now, 5 wins.
Yeah, 5 in a row. Yes.
5. Look at it now.
Perfect start.
Perfect start for Hansi Flick. But look at, I'm happy the way that the hype is going round. Everybody sings in praises. But I have a problem with when these results start going bad.
As it should.
When these results start going bad, will they be this patient with the club side? Will they still be this loyal and sing the praises of this young lad? Because I believe at some point there were some other persons they sang their praises. I'm still talking about Ansu Fati. You get? And now what happened to Ansu Fati?
But this boy is generational. You can even see it.
Ansu Fati in his first season was taking on 7 defenders at once.
It don't come. Which one is 7? Even Messi cannot even take 7 defenders on.
For real.
I'm saying this. I'm not saying this from sentiment. I'm making sentiment out of it. I'm saying it because I saw the guy play for Barcelona. I saw him play alongside Messi.
Sure.
And he was taking on defenders as long as Messi was taking on defenders. And they were like, okay, fine, he's the next big thing because he's learning from Lionel Messi because Lionel Messi was still at the side at the time. But what happened after 2 injuries?
I think injuries is
injuries alone doesn't tell the full story. You look at the shift in management too.
And what happened after the case of
injuries alone is just
the
one
management
side of the coin.
Okay, let's see what Barcelona will be doing. They have won 5 in 5. They are top of that league comfortably. Atletico Madrid played 1-3-0 and finally, Alvarez scored the last goal. He scored just 95th minute, the almost last kick of the game. He scored that goal to conclude the winning for Atletico Madrid.
The goal made me proud. Alvarez is a player that is obviously dear to my heart. Love to see him succeed outside City. Hopefully a comeback maybe in the near future. We never can tell. But kudos to Atletico. They needed the win and they got the win. Credible performance from the team, and hopefully they can start moving into more comfortable attacking football. Normally when we talk about Atletico, the mantra has always been score 1 and defend. They're getting through in this encounter, and even against a good side like Girona.
And Kodok scored 2. I think the first or second goal.
Scored 1 of the goals. And you see, look at it now. They have the Atletico Madrid are moving. I think they're moving swiftly. They're dominant in defense. They don't have to change anything in that defensive setup. In midfield, they've added 2 or 3 2 players that could go on to Sean.
Sure.
Now in the attacking side, they are adding players as well. The likes of the Norwegian in Solod, and you see that one of them can drop deep, be an extra hand of midfield, or be an extra man in midfield. Talking about Julian Alvarez, while the other guy can just rest up front and wait for a tap in and score his goals. I think it's just good that way. They have a perfect mix of 2 strikers who can do their jobs good and adapt to different instructions of play. And I think it's a good one for what's it called now? Diego Simeone and his assistant.
Kudos to him.
Torres.
Kudos to Conor Gallagher. He got the first goal in that match. Finally, he feels
at home.
He feels at home, feel love, which is what every footballer out there is looking out for. And I'm happy to see him enjoy that because.
Hello. Okay, let's take this final call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Okay, my name is Chris Santos. I'm calling from Enugu.
Okay,
Chris Santos, welcome to the show.
What is your contribution?
Liverpool fan.
Oh, yeah. Liverpool fan, yeah. Okay.
You never walk alone.
Yeah, all these Man U fans, they happy say the Liverpool. Say if Man City lose, Man U, If Liverpool lose, news. But if Man U lose, no be news now. Now the regular outing be that. So it's a wake-up call for Slot because he's new to England and it's like they don't tell him about Anfield. So he needs to strategize and pick up his pieces. I could have loved this lose to start from the beginning. So that they can sign player because
thank you.
Liverpool owners are too stubborn. They don't like signing player. They are too stingy.
Yeah, that's true.
No, they are too stingy. How can you tell me the whole season only sign one injured player, which is Chiesa, which is not how many matches now? 4 matches has not played in. Is it not a bad element? Okay. But all the same, I just hope if you get top 4. Then it's a nice outing.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a nice time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, man. Okay, guys, we are live on YouTube, so I'm going to read comments before we go. We have a whole lot of comments here. I'm going to bring our comments. You can join us live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. When you go there, drop your comments. I will be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, Okitibi Emmanuel is saying, Arsenal finally learned. Play dirty or play clean, but just win. Arteta has won 3 straight at Tottenham, which is true. 3 straight. Even Wenger did not do that.
Well said, Emmanuel.
Yeah, that is the 3rd game straight that he's winning at Sports Stadium, which is actually good for them. Ude Chidoze is saying, when Sancho will start failing, Igwe Chelsea, don't cry, you.
I know they were going to come for you.
Okay, Emmanuel said 3 straight win away matches for Arsenal. It's well. Ajon, okay, well to say Ajon, give Onana the credit for that penalty, boss. Okay, you give him
his flowers because look at it. If a goalkeeper makes a save, it's the strikers are missing. But
don't come and serenade now.
Give him his flowers, John. Ude Chidoze is a guy. There is no glory now at Man U for now. Okay, there is no glory.
That's talking about Man United.
Yes. Okitibi Male say Baka is playing well. Charles Gilonzi is saying, let's give credit to Victor. He scored during the weekend. That's Victor Boniface.
Yeah, and if 2 goals, 1 assist.
If you want to talk about Nigerians on duty, I think indeed they had 2 assists.
Yeah, they had 2 assists.
Yes. So Nigerians everywhere just did great.
We're going to talk about Nigerians, how they performed actually in the weekend.
Nigerians just did great over the weekend, and they also have to give them their kudos.
Yes, give it. Then finally, Wealth is saying, please give Osimhen his credit for the weekend, because congratulations to all the Nigerian teams that played throughout the weekend. Actually, we played where they played.
I don't know, look more on the score sheet.
So we're going to talk about Nigerians, how they perform tomorrow in the weekend. Okay, guys, this is how we're going to end the show. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube. Remember, guys, we are live every day, Monday to Saturday on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. My name is Godwin, and have a lovely day.
Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage.
Take a break and enjoy the show.
Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a goal! It's a goal!
Entertainment. News and politics.
Enugu State Governor has sent us to the
This is your radio.
Gospel.
And let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within people.
I am a soldier and a battlefield.
Odenibo.
Daalụnụ ndị be anyị ekene m unu Igbo ndị ọma njem ọnụ unu a na-emekwa ọfụma.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Vote 104.3 FM.